Oh yeah.
The 13th CISM World Military Football Championship comes to an end today. But before it does, we've got two more marvelous matches in front of us. 10 nations united for one simple goal, friendship through sport. Whether it was on the pitch or off, these women will walk away champions no matter what. But today features these nations searching for the ultimate hardware to cement themselves in the history books forever. It's South Korea who searches for their 7th medal in its nation's history. To do so, they'll have to beat the host, the United States, who search for their first medal in 18 years. Hi everybody, 안녕하세요 to those of you in South Korea. 감사합니다. Thank you for joining us here today. Alongside me, of course, is U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt-Johnson. And Shelby, this is it, the final day of the tournament. It'll be a stellar South Korean unit who like to slow the pace of the match down. But can they slow down the United States, who push and attack ferociously? This should be a brilliant match, partner.
The U.S. team, Coach Wayne's dream team, has been the opponent, a great opponent here in the tournament, and the South Korean team getting to play against the U.S. for this bronze medal is exciting. They haven't played together at all this entire tournament, but both teams have had the chance to really scout out each other, strategize, and now they get to play it out here on the field and fight for that medal.
Let's take a look at some highlights throughout the tournament and the 4 matches of the group stage. First, for the United States, how they got here, Shelby. They beat Belgium 10-0 in the first match of the tournament, 7 goals in the first half. Haley Robertson had a hat trick in 41 minutes in that match. And then the United States wound up losing to Cameroon, the team that is playing for the gold against France later on tonight. They lost 2-1, but they got revenge against Germany 2-1 and beat Ireland 5-0. That was one of Robertson's 2. She had a brace in that match. The United States had a really, really solid tournament, trying to medal for the first time in 18 years.
Well, having the home field advantage, the U.S. team has had a ton of fans and support here on the field here at Union Stadium, but the South Korean team has also had a great fan base here in supporting the ladies and all their hard work here on the tournament.
And for South Korea, they were oh so close. They started out the tournament beating Canada 6-0. Then they beat Mali 4-1, and the Dutch, they beat the Netherlands 4-1, but lost a heartbreaker 1-0 in the 90th minute against France. That stopped them from getting to the gold medal match, but it has been a stellar tournament for South Korea. They have now been to at least the bronze medal match, Shelby, in 6 straight tournaments, 9 of 10 in its nation's history.
Yesterday's game between France and South Korea was the match to watch. I think there was a bunch of teams here, there was a bunch of fans just trying to decide and see who is going to get those goals to bring them on to the gold medal and the bronze medal match. And South Korea did a fantastic job just playing the game that they know how to play, and then, you know, just losing to France, but getting to come here and have a chance at the bronze medal match.
Jungmin Lee, who is the leading attacker for South Korea, has 3 goals. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape and see how these two teams stacked up. Both went 3-0-1, 3 wins, no draws, 1 tie. They each got 9 points. The United States, of course, came out of Group A in second. South Korea came out of Group B in second. And then you see, pretty similar. Only 3 goals against for each nation. The United States tallied 3 more over South Korea. This is going to be one of the matches of the tournament.
We talked a little bit about the beginning of the tournament. Some of the matches were just a tiny bit lopsided, but towards the end of the matches, everybody found their ground, and everybody has had a chance to get used to the heat, the field, the players, the teams, and now they are really giving it all. And this bronze medal match, like you said, it is going to be well played between both teams and evenly matched.
Taking a look at the weather today before they start the CISM March. Right now, it is about 81 degrees here in Spokane. That's 81 degrees Fahrenheit, 27.2 degrees Celsius. It feels great. Of course, an earlier start time here. We have 12 o'clock, and then the gold medal match between Cameroon and France is at 4 p.m. Pacific. A gorgeous day here in Spokane.
You know, I could barely sleep last night. The excitement of this day, just packed with great teams playing their final matches of the tournament. And they are excited too. You can hear the fans now.
Of course, a pro and heavy United States crowd here in Spokane. Obviously a tougher time because of work. It is noon on a Friday. But South Korea, they have had so many fans here in Spokane. And so you know the gong's going to be banging. They're going to be making their noise. They want to beat the hosts and win their 3rd ever bronze. Of course, you see the CISM March here. You see South Korea. They are wearing the kind of maroonish, pinkish red. The United States in the all-whites with a little red and blue trim on it. And then, of course, the kids holding these strong military women's hands. They have been here for 2 weeks now, getting the chance to look up to these women that they want to be one day, whether it's on the pitch or off of it. This makes you sad. The final 2 CISM marches in the bronze medal match and the gold medal match. We will have the South Korean national anthem followed by the national anthem of the United States.
And now the national anthem of the United States of America. may be
National
seated.
anthems there. As we take a look at the referees in today's match, the head referee is Alexandre Collat from France. The assistant referee also from France is Johan Tita. The assistant referee, the AR2, is Don Frein from the Netherlands. And the fourth official in today's match is Mariska Overtoom. And Alexandre Collat told me this the other day. I wanted to shout out her parents, Veronique, her mom, her dad, Cherry, her brother, Florian, and then her boyfriend, Bashama. So those are the four officials. As we take a look at the starting 11 first for the United States under head coach Derek Wayand. Derek Wayand, this will be his final game ever managing this United States club before he retires. He's hoping they go out a winner today. So the keeper in between the pipes is Jen Hiddink. Left back is Tori Allen. The left center back is Jen Gillette. The right center back is Simone Gardner. And rounding out the back four is the right back, Meredith Reisinger. The holding midfielder today is Aaron Spear. The left attacking midfielder is Katie Gernsbacher. And the right attacking midfielder is Angela Karamanos, who scored last match in their win over Ireland. The left wing is Kaylee Utley, who has 4 goals in this tournament. The center forward, who has the second most goals in this entire tournament, is Haley Robertson. And the right wing, rounding out the starting 11 for the United States in their 4-3-3 formation, is Morgan Roberts. All right, taking a look at South Korea and how they line up under manager Mi Yun Lee. In between the pipes, the keeper is Ji Hee Ha. Only 3 in the back for South Korea today. It's the first time, Shelby, we've seen this formation. They're in a 3-4-3 today. And so they have Min Jin Kim, the left back. The center back is Da Hee Thong. The right back is Ing Young Sa. In the midfield, 4 players. The left mid is Ah Room Han. Center mid on the left side of the pitch is Yoshang Shim. The right center mid is Jin Young No. The right mid is Hyun Ah Park, who had some terrific free kicks in the loss against France. Then the top 3, the left wing is Han Nul Kwan. Center forward is Chung Min Lee. She's the leading scorer for South Korea. She has 3 goals in this tournament. And rounding out the starting 11, the right wing is Yi Na Park. So those are the starting 11 on each side. United States looking for their first medal since the second ever CISM tournament. There's been 11 since, Shelby. Can they go out winners here in Spokane? South Korea, as we mentioned, trying to win their 3rd ever bronze medal. They have at least reached the bronze medal match in 6 straight championships, 9 of 10 in its nation's history. What more can you want?
We have to think both teams are coming out here ready to win. And yesterday, the entire tournament got a chance to have a break. But you have to think both teams probably spent the time practicing, really honing in on a few skills, maybe rewatching some film, rewatching us talk a whole bunch, and then trying to strategize for today's game, rest up, maybe do some active recovery, and then coming out here ready to play and get that medal.
So Haley Robertson, her 6 tallies, second most behind Tabe from Cameroon. And we are underway here in Spokane. This is Morgan Roberts with the ball on the near side. That's Meredith Reisinger, the right back. The United States, they like to attack quickly, as you see right here. The cheetah, as they call her, Morgan Roberts with a good move. That's past Min Jin Kim, the left back. Chance here for the United States right away. Crunches off the crossbar and then stopped off the right foot of Utley. Boy, that might have been the fastest goal in CISM history. That cross stayed on the ground by Roberts. Haley Robertson crunched one off the crossbar, and we're still knotted up 0-0.
You know what a great way to start off the game. Like we said, getting a first goal or the first attack even provides a lot of motivation for the team that is attacking. And Morgan Roberts using her speed, they call her the cheetah for a reason, using that speed to get past the defender and just making a beautiful cross over there, almost make it in. That crossbar is not a friend.
Wow. Haley Robertson just missed her 7th goal of the tournament by inches. Now this is Kaylee Utley, who has 4 herself, trying to blow by a couple of defenders. Kaylee Utley inside the penalty area is dispossessed. We talked about it, and we said it about a minute ago. The United States want to push immediately. They're trying to strike as quickly as they can. South Korea likes to play patiently. They like to control their own pace and make you slow down. It's ball from Gernsbacher. Morgan Roberts gets there again. Roberts, right foot cross is right to the keeper, but it was past the touchline, so it will be a goal kick for Ji Hee Ha.
This team is so tenacious, so ready to get an offensive attack. We saw right here in the first couple of minutes and making those passes and really giving Morgan Roberts a chance to get those crosses in.
So South Korea, who hadn't been tested for the most part all tournament until they faced France. That match played 50-50, Shelby. But South Korea needed to win that match. Because of goal differential, they could not draw and get into the gold medal match. Arum Han, left-footed cross. No one was there on the backside inside the penalty area. But had to beat France in order to get here. Wound up letting up a goal because they were on that all-out attack in the late stages of that match in the 90th minute. And that goal by Rachel Corbeau sent France dancing into the gold medal match and a date with Cameroon. That match is at 4 p.m. Pacific time.
That match really could have gone either way. I don't think anybody here in the crowd or even on the teams knew who was going to be able to come out victorious in that match. And we saw France came out, but South Korea has a chance now to get to the bronze against the U.S.
So here's Jen Hiddink. Plays it out wide to Simone Gardner. Actually, that is not Simone Gardner over there. That's Tori Allen. So Hiddink to Tori Allen. His back line has been stout for the United States in this tournament. As you saw, 18 goals for, only 3 goals against. The difference was that Cameroon match. Much like South Korea and France, it's set up for the drama in the final match of Group B. But the United States played Cameroon in the second match in Group A. It was actually the first match for Cameroon in the tournament. They got 3 days off before they started their play against the United States. A 79th minute goal by Tabe was the difference. Into the middle is their goal scorer, Jung-Min Lee. Jin Young No picks up the start today for South Korea. Here's Hyo Seong Shim. And this is what South Korea does. So smart, so tactical. They will sort of lull you to sleep. They build their attacks from their backs. Lee, Hanu Kwan, the captain of this South Korean team. Arum Han looking for Hanu Kwan. Hanu Kwan inside the penalty area. Stops and goes. Working on Aaron Spear. Left foot. No one was there.
You really can tell the accuracy of these passes. Almost never is the South Korean team running to get a missed pass. It's usually pretty well accurate and getting it to the right people at the right time. They do that, and that's how they build that attack from the back.
Pretty windy today, Shelby. A little bit different than what we've seen, and maybe that's because of the noon start time. It is blowing about 13 miles per hour here. That's towards the north end of the pitch.
Well, I can tell you one thing. I know these teams are probably very happy that it is not a scorching 90, 91 degrees as they start their match.
Absolutely. I know we appreciate it too. We're not working as hard, but that sun's been getting to us in the booth all tournament long. So 16-hour time difference between Spokane and South Korea. So 4 a.m. It's now 4:07 in the morning. So maybe some folks waking up really early. Flag went up. That's Yohan Tita. Raised the flag. That went past the touchline. But again, we appreciate you. We hear you. We see you in South Korea. Thanks for all the support this tournament. I know these women out on the pitch really appreciate it. And if you're in the United States, I know it's work time. Maybe it's lunchtime. You get a lunch break here on the western part of the United States. And maybe if you're in Chicago, 2 o'clock. Maybe New York, it's 3. But we appreciate you guys joining us. This United States team has been feeling the love here in Spokane and from all over the country. And speaking of feeling the love, couple of quick shout-outs as we do at the beginning of matches. Marcy Walton, the assistant coach, so phenomenal, wants to say hi to her kids, Brecken and Kai. Says, Mommy loves you and misses you. Says, thanks to her parents, Connie and Ed, friend, for being the best grandparents and mom and dad. And also, too, this was really cool. Marcy's husband, Dan, just took command of his flying squadron at Columbus Air Force Base. How cool is that?
That is cool, getting to command. And I know actually a couple of the ladies on the U.S. team are flight commanders of their units, and getting to be able to mentor a large group of people. It is, I mean, I don't know how it feels exactly, but I know that it's a big, great opportunity for those people.
Might feel like winning the bronze medal. I'm telling you. But also, too, couple last ones for the United States. Assistant coach Brittany Bytel. Joe Bytel, her dad, Shelby, has been telling dad jokes to the entire team in this tournament, and the players have loved the dad jokes. They have been all about them. So she says thank you and says thanks for being the best father in the world. Right foot try, and that's caught in the air by Jen Hiddink.
Nothing beats a good dad joke to lighten the mood here for these ladies who are working so hard for the past 2 weeks, actually, and more than that for the U.S. team trying out, getting to go to those camps beforehand.
There's Morgan Roberts here on the near side. Morgan Roberts, right foot, looking for Robertson, and Robertson thought that Utley was there, so Robertson kind of tailed off. That was a really nice ball from Morgan Roberts. But Utley stayed out wide on that far side of the penalty area. Dahi Thong, the center back today for South Korea. She gets the task. The whole back line gets the task, but she gets that tough task working against Haley Robertson, the center forward for the United States, who has 6 tallies.
We've seen it over and over again with the teams who are playing against the U.S. They usually have someone man-marking Haley Robertson. They know that she is skilled and she is the top goal scorer for this team. So shutting her down right away is really something that a lot of the teams have done a great job doing.
There's Jen Gillette, one of the center backs for the United States.
You saw it there. In-Young saw it in the back, taking her time. She had no pressure, just waiting for someone on her team to get into a passing position. And that's what they do. They slow it down to make sure they can build it from the back.
Good dispossession there by Gernsbacher. Gernsbacher has been a difference maker. A couple of times didn't start in this tournament, as there is the first whistle of the match. I should say the first foul. It'll be a free kick here for the United States in the 11th minute. Still 0-0. United States 25 seconds in had the best chance. Morgan Roberts found Haley Robertson. Robertson cut through, was just outside the 6, and caromed one off the crossbar. Otherwise, possession's been about 50-50. Good interception. Karamanos. Here's Haley Robertson. Good closeout. Robertson. Gernsbacher. Good deflection there by Ji Young No.
Great one touch there by Robertson to make sure to pass it back, because Gernsbacher had a better touch, a better angle on the goal. Just getting it there next time is what they're probably going to focus on.
I mean, you won't see a team that's more patient than South Korea. Here's a good ball. Hanu Kwan, a swing and a miss there by Gardner, but Reisinger, luckily for Simone Gardner, was right there to back her up and clear it away.
I think you're right, and If this team was nervous, you could not tell. They are so poised with their play, with their chance, with everything. They are just so calm and making sure that they're solely focused on getting this win.
Good ball by Hyo-Shang Shim. Chance here, but the flag goes up. Offside was Chung-Min Lee. So a good build-up there. There is Alexandra Kola, tasked with controlling these two teams, and the head official, head referee in today's match. Of course, we've talked about it all tournament, but the referees are assigned based on who's playing. They have a good rotation, but of course, in this match, you couldn't have any South Korea referees. You couldn't have any United States referees. In fact, those two sets and pairs will be the referees in the gold medal match.
And one of the best things about this tournament is making sure, as much as possible, everything is fair. So the teams bringing two referees from their nation and getting to do those switches and rotations to make sure that there's no sort of bias in any of these games is so phenomenal and such great thinking by the program itself.
Good ball by In Young Sa. Far side here. Nice run. Right foot try. Deflected, and oh my! Almost an own goal there. The United States breathing a major sigh of relief. You heard some oohs and ahs here in the stands. Take a look.
Those middle crosses and just a slight touch on the ball by Gardner, almost making it in her own goal.
That was Yi Na Park making the run on the far flank. Beautiful ball inside the 6. And Simone Gardner gets it out of there. So Arum Han, an SFC in the Army for South Korea, trying to set up the first here in the 14th minute. Headed away by Karamanos. Good clearance there. Now Haley Robertson showing her speed. Look at the jets on Haley Robertson. Blows by Hyuna Park. Haley Robertson not enough on the touch. She was looking for Morgan Roberts cutting over the middle of the pitch. And again, South Korea getting back defensively to make a stand.
It's that counterattack that we've been talking about this entire tournament. A lot of the teams are so great at getting it. Once they get the interception and get the possession of the ball, it's immediately up to the front and making that counterattack. And it's the best way that a lot of the teams have scored so far.
And South Korea understands that. They know how quick the United States is. It's very similar. The United States and France, their style is very similar to one another. And so it's a very similar opponent. So South Korea knows that's why they want to play with that patience and control the pace and the tempo of the match and slow you down because of the counterattacks. Good ball here. Arum Han inside the penalty area. Arum Han left to right, back to her left. Didn't get enough there, and I don't think that's what Arum Han was trying to do. She stutter-stepped, and I know you want to talk about it. I think she should have taken that shot right away.
I think so, too. A lot of, like we said, the poise and the calmness is amazing, and it's really a value to the team, a skill that's not easily taught. But when you do need to make those passes, like this one here.
Han Kwon, Chung-Min Lee, who has 3 already, couldn't have the angle. Chung-Min Lee trying to look back to her teammate that just set her up, and Han Kwon. And that ball is past the touchline.
It's really knowing when and where to make fast plays, fast-paced play, one touches, or slow it down here in the back. So when you're in the back and there's not a lot of pressure, South Korea, like we said, doing a phenomenal job of slowing it down. But in the front there, I think she could have taken the shot.
So maybe, in what you're saying, a little bit too patient, maybe. And of course, like we're saying, you have to have the angle on that shot. But Arum Han, on the first attempt, maybe had a chance to cut back to her right foot and try and bend one in. But you can see South Korea is really starting to string together these passes. Their pass accuracy all tournament has been up there with the best. Started maybe a little bit slow in the first 5 to 10 minutes, but now minutes 11 to 17. They've looked like that team we've seen all championship long. Kaylee Utley, so dangerous. Played her collegiate soccer at West Virginia. Made it to the Elite Eight. She was one of the best goal scorers and distributors in West Virginia history. Chungmin Lee. Speaking of the Jets, we've talked about Haley Robertson. Player goes down, and that's a foul. That goes against Chungmin Lee. I'll tell you what, Chungmin Lee today has a little bit something extra. That's that extra adrenaline here in this bronze medal match. And those backs are trying to talk it over with Hidink, saying, hey, we're trying to box her out and close her out so Hidink can come up and get the ball.
Chungmin Lee has had experience as a captain, too, for 2 years, so she knows what it takes, what motivation it takes to come out here and to score early on, but to also pick up the pace of the team and make sure that they're excited and doing the best that they can here in the first half.
We've seen so much man marking in this tournament, making sure that Haley Robertson doesn't beat you, that Chungmin Lee doesn't beat you. And another good close out there by the left back in Min Jin Kim. So goal kick here for Ji Hee Ha. Ji Hee Ha has had a brilliant tournament inside the 6. And what I like most about Ji Hee Ha is such a good communicator. She is always on top of the backs and making sure that they're in the right spot. Of course, we say it all the time, but these keepers are the generals. They see the entire pitch. So Ji Hee Ha has done an excellent job. Good touch there by Gernsbacher. Now it's a foot race. Gernsbacher and Da Hee Thong, but Da Hee Thong gonna let it go.
I agree, and we've seen a lot of times the other teammates communicating so well to each other, and it is about learning and growing and teaching each other. Some of these players haven't played with each other, especially on the U.S. team, so learning from different skill levels to teach each other on the pitch is so valuable to make them play a little bit better during the game itself.
So South Korea won the bronze in 2015 and 2016, searching for their third. If they win, their 7 medals would be their 7th medal. It would put them one behind Brazil for the most ever. Good ball out wide. Terrific there. That's the left wing, and Kaylee Utley playing some defense on Hyuna Park. Right foot. And Hidink overran it. Could be the first for South Korea. And there it is. The ricochet. It's Chungmin Lee, her 4th of the tournament. Boy, Jen Hidink misread it. Couldn't punch it out. The deflection from Aaron Spear found the foot of Chungmin Lee. South Korea has their first strike in the 20th minute.
How exciting. This cross was beautiful, and then just being a little bit too far out was Hidink, and the deflection immediately being there, crashing the goal to get a touch on the ball, to get it in the back of the net.
That one's tough to swallow if the United States there. Jen Hidink misread it. You saw on the replay, Aaron Spear was there on the backside, and she's trying to box out Han Do-kwon, the captain of this South Korean team, headed it away. But who else but Chungmin Lee, the other captain, in the right spot at the right time. Her 4th tally gives South Korea this 1-0 advantage. Good ball here out wide. Arum Han. Arum Han, left foot, looking for Lee again, but too much.
They're really trying to capitalize here, get one right after the other, and just kind of shut the U.S. down, disappoint them a little bit by getting 2 right off the bat.
So for South Korea, that is goal number 16 in the tournament. So 16 goals for, only 3 goals against. Ina Park. Ricochets one off of Jen Gillette, so it's a corner kick here for South Korea. And sometimes too, Shelby. A lot of time left. Still early here in the first half, getting ready for the first hydration break. But the United States had a 25-second chance. Chance in the first 25 seconds to strike. That's why we say it's a matter of inches. Haley Robertson just missed her 7th. Hit one off the crossbar. That was their best chance so far. Here's Hyun-Ah Park. Magnificent on these corners. Low liner. Arum Han trying to control, and then Karamanos gets it out of there. Still trying to get it out of there. Just outside the penalty area. Left foot try, wide of the mark.
I think that's going to take us to our first hydration break. South Korea 1, US 0 here in the 23rd minute of the first half.
So 23rd minute, 1-0 South Korea. Boy, it has been something else in this first half. A big goal there by Chung Min Lee. And so now we want to do something that we haven't gotten the chance to do all tournament. We want to showcase to you how hard our crew has been working from the 2nd and 3rd audio-visual squadrons. Take a look at this here. We'll do some shout-outs of our terrific crew. There's the truck. That's that U.S. Air Force truck. But look at these behind the scenes. Really locked in are these folks. You got some of the engineers there. That's Sam Morse. 2 AVS. There's our replay coordinators and assistant on replay. As you see, that's Staff Sergeant Jordan Behrens and Airman First Class Joshua Carroll. There's the producer and John Zanone. I promise you I'm going to get to every name. There's our line producer. That was Matt Hester. I don't know who that guy is. You don't want to take a look at him. That's you. And that was Matt Hester, by the way, our line producer, who got all this, which is awesome. And then you see, of course, to our left, who's been doing the stats all tournament long. He's been in the booth. Also some audio, Senior Airman John Anderson. See the camera operators. That is Staff Sergeant Michael Jones. There is Technical Sergeant Anthony Kuhn. There's Curry. That's Airman First Class Aaron Curry. Been working the corner kicks. But I also want to shout out the rest of our crew real quick before this half continues. Our director, Adam White, 2 AVS. Talked about John Zanone and Matt Hester. And then our technical director, assistant director, Staff Sergeant Danielle Carmichael. And then we talked about replay, Staff Sergeant Jordan Behrens, Airman First Class Joshua Carroll. Graphics, Trevor Wood. Boy, he gets a big shout out. He's been working hard in that truck. 2 AVS, that's Sam Morse, who's been doing not only the audio, but he's been our photographer a lot of the time, says Sam Morse. He's been getting a lot of cool shots and cool imagery that you've seen in some of these opens. He has been terrific, and he's making sure, too, that we sound okay. At least good enough. But then all the camera operators, from Airman First Class Tia James, who's up top. She's got to deal with that tent up there. Talked about Technical Sergeant Anthony Kuhn. He's down low. He's right at the middle of the pitch. Michael Jones, Staff Sergeant, is working one of the goal lines back there past the touch line. And then Senior Airman Kevin Allen's on the opposite side. And we mentioned Aaron Curry at the corner flag. Stan Woodford is our engineer in charge, 2 AVS. Then Jason Davis, lead engineer, also a 2 AVS. Streaming technician, Staff Sergeant Jonathan Greenhoe, 2 AVS. And then to round everyone out, shading, Airman First Class Max Herring. Then there's us, but those people, I'm telling you, are more important. But that's this crew. A lot of them serving this country, previously served this country, and serving those of you in South Korea here in the United States.
Absolutely. A lot of people don't know. We are public affairs, and getting to come out here and do some audio-visual production, some live broadcast streaming is a little bit of a niche product, but getting to do this has been phenomenal for all of us. But we also have our cyber folks, and without them, this could literally not happen. They are helping us out so much with the truck and the satellite truck and getting things ready to go so that way we can make sure we have the best possible product for all of the fans, friends, and family watching here today.
So 27th minute, 1-0 in favor of South Korea. Because of this woman with the ball at her feet. Jungmin Lee, can she set up the second? Inside the 18, Han-Yul Kwon in a save for Hidink. Good setup again. Jungmin Lee scored the first, trying to set up her teammate and fellow captain, and Han-Yul Kwon.
We've seen a lot of chances here for South Korea within the last couple of minutes, besides the hydration break. But crossing it here in front of the goal post and kind of catching Hidink off her line maybe a little bit, but this could be a counterattack for the U.S.
Great ball by Angela Karamanos. Kaylee Utley, couple of swim moves here, but almost ran out of room. Back to Karamanos. She doesn't have an angle here. She'll play it back. Tori Allen played at the University of Georgia. Here's Hidink. Now they're going to switch sides of the pitch. The right idea. Meredith Reisinger. Reisinger, left foot into the penalty area. Kaylee Utley and the keeper, and Ji-hee Ha gets it out of there. Then slips. Utley crosses one in. Haley Robertson lets it go again. Morgan Roberts keeps it alive. Now Haley Robertson. Robertson right foot deflection. That was by Da Hee Thong, the center back. Yet again, the wall stands tough for South Korea.
It almost looks like every time a U.S. player, U.S. offensive player has the ball, two South Korean players are there already pressuring. So it's hard to make those dribbling, those skills, using some footwork there to get past the defensive line.
There's a give and go there, but mishit by Yina Park. Tried to apologize to her teammate. Kernsbacher loses it there. That was Hyo-Sung Shimp taking it away. Jin Young No. A lot of space here for Han-Yul Kwon. Instead, not a great ball there to Lee. Good movement here for South Korea. Hyo-Sung Shim. Out wide. Tori Allen trying to play 1v1. Left foot chance and wide of the mark. That was Hyuna Park taking the shot there for South Korea. So that's now 5 shots for South Korea. They have had 3 of those 5 on target. The United States have 2 shots, 1 on frame. And a push, that's going to be a foul. So a free kick here for the United States.
So a lot of the reason we see the charisma, the connection between the South Korean team is they play all year round with the same girls. The same ladies are playing. They play the WK League, which is the top division of women's football in South Korea.
And how about that foot race there by the left back in Min Jin Kim and the right wing in Morgan Roberts. If Morgan Roberts is a cheetah, then I'll tell you what, Min Jin Kim isn't far off. And Roberts is asking for the trainer. So the trainer coming on here, and Morgan Roberts wondering if she's asking to stay on. He's moving okay, I'll tell you that. So right now the United States going to be down a woman here unless they allow Roberts to come back on. I think it looks like Morgan Roberts has a little bit bloodied up on that leg. That's what she was asking for. Here's Reisinger. Can she set up the first? Reisinger down a woman. Don't forget that. Morgan Roberts still getting tended to on the side, just past the touchline. Can the United States score down a woman here, Shelby, in the 32nd minute?
2 chances right back to back here. Corner kick for the U.S. and having the team crash the goal to get one in the back of the net. This might be a chance.
Here's Katie Gernsbacher, the lone Marine on this team, first lieutenant in the Marines from Austin, Texas, trying to set up the first for the United States. Reisinger plays it back. Robertson's all by herself, surrounded by about 6 magenta jerseys. And now the counter is on. Hanul Kwan. Can she outrun Reisinger? But Reisinger gets back. And then ball deflected off of Alexandra Kola, the referee. And that's an automatic stoppage, especially if South Korea had an attack there. Morgan Roberts now has the bandage on the left leg. She's back onto the pitch.
I have to think with those chances for the U.S. there, South Korea is going to come back and try to get one in the back of the net right here.
Right foot, Hanul Kwan, just to track that. See how brilliant that was. Getting to the spot rather than eyeing the ball. The captain. Good deflection by Gardner. Utley gets it out of there. Haley Robertson's fast, but not going to get there before Ji Hee Ha, the keeper. Eugene Kim. Hanul Kwan. Brilliant ball by Hyo-Shang Shim. Trying to chip one into the penalty area. That time was Hyuna Park.
The absolute accuracy of these passes, even when it is those through balls, they're not making their teammates run very far to make sure that they can get the ball.
Lee is doing a nice job too. Forget just scoring the first goal, but putting a lot of pressure on these backs when the backs for the United States have the ball. She's playing defense in her own attacking third. That's what sets this up right here, Shelby. Arum Han. Hanul Kwan leaves it. How about that? So technical. Hanul Kwan, right foot tries, deflected. And now a chance, but the flag goes up. It's not going to count. But how about the work there from Jen Hedink, the U.S. keeper?
That sequence was probably one of the best ones I've seen in this game. Even in this tournament, having the awareness to leave it, to make those passes, the footwork, phenomenal, and really just the best chance South Korea has after their first goal.
Take a look at this development. That was Hanul Kwan with the try. Save, Yina Park. And then it looked like it maybe went off the crossbar, but it wasn't going to matter because the flag went up. That was Yohan Tita, the assistant referee from France, who was all over that. Offside. About 10 or so minutes to go here in the first half. It was a South Korean goal in the 20th minute by Chung Min Lee. That is the difference between these two. So 6 shots now for South Korea. Only 2 for the United States. And coming into this match, a lot of times we like to talk about favorites and underdogs. We knew it was going to be close. We knew it was going to be a spectacular match. Maybe South Korea had a little bit of the edge, and we talked about that because they play year-round. The United States has been working hard since June 18th, since they got here in Spokane, so about a month to try and put the pieces together.
And you're right, the South Korean team, they do play all year round. And some of these U.S. women have actually played a lot together too, although they might not play all year round. 7 of the U.S. players have played in the Armed Forces team in 2019, and 5 of them played in 2018.
Chungmin Lee showcasing the Jets there, and sandwiched by 2 U.S. defenders. That was Gardner and Reisinger. And just like that, South Korea had that attack. They bring it right back and play through those backs. Speaking of one of the backs, this is In Young Saw. He's had a brilliant tournament. Right now, the United States not connecting some of these passes. This is something we haven't seen a lot from them here in this championship setting. Yena Park. Yena Park looking for Hanul Kwan. Right foot into the 18, off the head of Gardner. Jin Young No, and an easy one there for Hidink. The United States, they are standing tough here. How can the U.S. beat these backs from South Korea? Do they need to play a little bit more through their back line? See here, Meredith Reisinger, Haley Robertson. Speaking of the backs, Min Jin Kim. United States, again, having a tough time of it and tough go of it. Just stringing together some of these passes.
Well, twice now it almost looked like the South Korean team anticipated and intercepted very quickly 2 U.S. passes back-to-back. Just being able to come to the ball, the U.S. might be a little bit flat-footed waiting on the pass, but the South Korean team knows if I just step a little bit further, I'm going to be able to get it before the U.S. team.
Somehow Yena Park just seems like she wins every 50-50 ball. Such good footwork. Gardner's got to get it out of there. And this could be another chance for South Korea. Chungmin Lee, and then a save for Hidink. I'll tell you what, give the credit first and foremost to Jen Hidink, but boy, this back line is really struggling with Chungmin Lee.
Well, being that decisive goalie, you can tell just making that decision, dive right now to get that ball. You know, if you have any sort of hesitation, she might have missed it, but Jen Hidink did a great job in the back there.
Hidink, most saves ever in a single season in program history for the Air Force Academy in 2017. She had 120 saves in that season. It was the most ever in Mountain West games. Roberts still looking for Robertson. That ball a little bit too high. Karamanos has Utley out wide, and Utley looked like she was onside, and then instead tried to play it to the other side inside the 18. Boy, it looked like Utley had a good angle over there to at least cross one in to Robertson. So final 5 or so minutes here in the first half. Chungmin Lee is the difference.
Again, playing through their backs, just calm. Not so much pressure from the U.S., but then when there is, making those passes where they need to be. Arum Han, very wide open here in the back.
Yeah, she's trying to slip here on the near side. Chungmin Lee, Hanul Kwan. Hanul Kwan has Arum Han. There she is. You were just talking about it. Arum Han, could she set up the second? Instead, a left foot laser right to Hidink, who wants the United States to push. You can see Da Hee Thong is all over Haley Robertson. That's her assignment. when the U.S. gets the ball, even if the backs for the United States get the ball in their defensive third, immediately Da Hee Thong is marking Haley Robertson.
Good things happen when you shut down that, I wouldn't say star player, but the best scorer there on the team, Robertson, shutting down that playmaker, because then they have to go out to the outside and then gives the chance for the South Korean midfielders to come back, since they are only playing 3 in the back. I
think she's a star player. I think that's okay to say. Haley Robertson has proved time and time again. Good ball here from Aaron Spear. Kaylee Utley turns on the Jets, and she can't keep it alive. So Aaron Spear, the holding mid there, with the brilliant ball to Kaylee Utley, and Utley just ran out of real estate. It also seems like, too, every time Hanul Kwan gets the ball, this is the difference between the United States and France just defensively. Hanul Kwan has seemed to get a lot of space in this match compared to that France match. That's what we're talking about. Good setup to Chung-Min Lee. Chung-Min Lee, left foot. Hedink did not touch it. It was wide of the mark.
I think you're right, and the pressure seems a little bit, one or two steps back from Hanul Kwan, giving her just as much space as she needs to make those connecting passes and make things happen up in the front.
Jen Hedink. So you saw that left-footed try there. That's now 9 shots for South Korea. The United States only have 2. This match, ever since, say, the 16th or so minute, possession's been dominated by South Korea. What a ball here. That was Min Jin Kim to Hanul Kwan. Just talking about the spacing. Hanul Kwan, it's been tough to stop. Right foot try, Hedink with the save, and then off of the ricochet, Yina Park missed everything.
Although missing that shot, Yina Park, perfect position to get the deflection like we've been talking about. Just anticipating some sort of deflection anytime it goes towards the goalie, being there to make a touch on the ball.
So can you tell that Hanul Kwan is on the South Korean national team? Because if you couldn't, well, she is, and she's had over 100 matches of experience on the national team. She reached the century mark in matches. And her next steps will be for the South Korean national team. Her spacing, so tough to teach. So 45th minute here, there will be 2 additional minutes in the first half. So 2 minutes of stoppage time, 2 minutes of added time here in the first half.
Jen Hedink using her space there to bring it up the field.
You can see over here, can't see it on your screen right now, but we can see from our vantage point, Simone Gardner and Jen Gillette, the 2 center backs, are almost playing sort of a double team style. They're double marking on Chung-Min Lee because she has been able to slip through the back line multiple times here in the first half. So it's just announced 2 added minutes. Aaron Spear, little nutmeg there. Gernsbacher. Morgan Roberts not going to get there in time. Ji Hee Ha gets there first. Scary there that time from Da Hee Thong. Haley Robertson almost got the right boot on it. About a minute to go. Can Gardner close out Chung-Min Lee? She does there. But then Meredith Reisinger gives it right back. Let's see, is South Korea okay with a 1-0 advantage going into the break?
And I think that just is a testament to their boys, like we've been talking about, and their confidence going in there, not rushing things here in the last couple of seconds for the first half.
Yena Park. Could be the last attack, last chance here on either side. Arum Han, can she set up a second just before halftime over the head of Chung Min Lee? And now it's up to Alexandra Collant, who is the referee. Whenever she blows the whistle, that will mark the end of this first half. And there it is. South Korea with a 1-0 advantage heading into the half. A 20th minute goal by who else but Chung Min Lee, one of the captains of this South Korean military team. She was in the right place at the right time. Jen Hedink overran it. Aaron Spear tried to get it out of there. South Korea, brilliant half for them.
Well, like you said, the last half of the half after the hydration break, South Korea has had most of the possession, having great passes there in front of the goalpost and great touches on the balls. It just has not connected it in the back of the net. The U.S. team, they're going to go in the locker room, they're going to talk about some adjustments, and they're going to come out here and try to get at least 1 or 2 more here up on Korea.
Matt Hester, our fantastic line producer, met with the French team. He got the chance to talk with 2 stars in Christy Gavary as well as Rachel Corboz, who scored the game winner against South Korea to send France to the gold medal match. We have that package for you up at the half. And then on the flip side of that, we'll come back for the second half of the bronze medal match between South Korea and the United States.
Du coup, on est des footballeuses dans l'armée, dans l'équipe de France, et on est là pour jouer la Coupe du Monde militaire.
It's been great being able to come here, seeing the different countries, and playing against a bunch of girls that we normally would never be able to play against. Last night, actually, at dinner, we were next to the Korean team, and we managed to somehow get into conversation with them. We were singing happy birthday to one another in both languages with Google Translate.
C'est une très grande fierté forcément, et je sais que tout le monde n'a pas la chance de pouvoir représenter son pays, donc je le fais avec fierté, et surtout j'espère pouvoir ramener une médaille en France. C'est important, ça donne encore plus de motivation, et surtout aussi les rendre fiers de là où ils sont, parce qu'ils peuvent pas être là, et forcément ça nous pousse à aller plus loin. Bonjour papa et maman, je vous aime.
Hi mom and dad, I miss you guys and thanks for watching.
C'est une grande chance aussi, puisque je pense qu'on a à apprendre de chacune, et c'est une bonne chose. Je pense qu'on peut que progresser.
I guess good luck to everyone out there. I hope we can put on a good show for everyone watching, and hopefully a tournament like this will help grow women's football around the world.
back here in Spokane. 1-0 South Korea leads the United States. Final 45 minutes, Shelby. It was a goal in the 20th minute by Chung-Min Lee. That's the difference. But the United States had the best opportunity for themselves 25 seconds into the match. Morgan Roberts down the near side flank. Crossed one into the 18. Haley Robertson connected with the crossbar. Blocked her from getting that goal. It would have been 1-0 U.S. And so that's it. That was their best chance. Otherwise, 10 shots to 2 for South Korea. It was domination from there on out from South Korea.
Well, now is the time for adjustments, right? They're coming out of the locker room here, both teams ready to come out and make those adjustments. But you can tell the shots on goal, the South Korean team have really dominated that second half, and just great efforts there from the U.S. team to deflect it. But some of the shots like that one you saw there, impossible to get. Just being there, crashing the goal on a deflection, and that is the moneymaker for the South Korean team today.
Before we talk adjustments, real quick, just wanted to go over the scores from the previous matches that weren't streamed today. Belgium got their first win of the tournament. They finished in 9th place. They defeated Canada 2-1, so congrats to Belgium, their first win of the tournament. The Netherlands defeated Ireland 3-1 in the 7th place match, so congrats to the Dutch getting 7th place there. Ireland finishes in 8th. And then Germany, right here at Union Stadium, they defeated Mali 1-0 to get 5th place. So congrats to all nations for competing, and then those three for winning those matches today. But all right, teams coming out of the locker room here, Shelby. Got to talk about the United States here first. And let's talk attacking. How can they set up a first goal here?
I think for starters, it's the little things, right? We're talking about pass accuracy, things like that. But also winning those 50-50 balls. We've seen a lot of the South Korean team intercepting, being able to notice when, anticipating when that pass is going to come, and just stepping in front of the U.S. team. So I think they need to work on those few solid, small things in order to get some passing and some plays and some opportunities back at the goal.
For South Korea, is there anything to adjust? I mean, they dominated most of that first half.
I don't think there's much. I think using Arum Han there when she was open on the flank, using the flanks and crossing it in like they had, that was a great opportunity, a great play, and it needs to happen more often for South Korea to get in the back of the net.
And then going back to one more point as these teams are huddling up, getting ready for second half action for the United States. It seems like they're allowing too much space for Han Nul Kwan. I mean, she's tough to defend anyway, but it feels like they got to be a little bit more physical here defensively in the second half.
Well, you can tell the difference between the U.S. and the South Korean team. When there is the ball at the foot of a U.S. player, there's 2 to 3 South Korean players within 5 feet ready to get the ball and deflect it and defend their goal. But for the U.S., it's 2 to 3 feet of space and then a U.S. player. So you're right, they kind of need to be a little bit more aggressive in getting to that person and marking them a little bit faster than they have been.
Chung-Min Lee here, getting ready to start us off here in the second half. Still waiting to see if there was any subs, and there's a little deke there. Haley Robertson was inside center circle. But talked about the adjustments. South Korea doesn't have to do a whole lot. They've been doing a lot of this. Han Nul Kwan right away is putting pressure here on Simone Gardner, and Simone Gardner plays it out, and it will be a throw-in.
Well, a little shout out to our halftime show. We had the Spokane Youth Sports Association Soccer.
Han Nul Kwan looking for Yina Park, and just missing wide that time was Yina Park. How in the world Kwan there was able to get that ball sky high in the air and find Yina Park?
Getting a touch on the ball, no matter the circumstances, is really what they're skilled at here. They are so brave, throwing a leg, throwing a knee, a chest, a head up there to get it to their teammate. So watching the teammates, the skill of these players are the Fairchild Youth Sports Soccer League, Spokane Surf Soccer Club, and the Spokane Youth Sports Association. And they were out here at halftime doing a little bit of scrimmaging. And like I said, they're here getting to watch these two teams fight for that bronze medal and just learning from the skill from both of these teams has been so valuable for these young men and women who are here today watching.
Absolutely. I know there's a lot of men and women back in South Korea hoping that South Korea can set up a second here. Dink punches one out. Free kick there by Hyun-Ah Park. And then a turnover. Now this is where you got to be careful. Haley Robertson is dangerous. Robertson on the far flank stops, looks for teammates, but cannot connect with Morgan Roberts. Good adjustment there by Min Jin Kim to get back defensively. That's the thing, too. In a lot of matches, Haley Robertson's been able to kind of blow by a lot of these defenders. Tough here against South Korea. Their back line is so quick at getting back on the ball.
We were talking about South Korean team starting 3 in the back, but it almost seems like every offensive play that happens, the South Korean team outnumbers the U.S. offense coming back. It's just those midfielders that are just so fast and quick, like you said, at getting back and those counterattacks to be able to help out their defense.
It also seems like, too, United States jumping the gun a little bit here, too. Just like that, you see there from Tori Allen. But then can't control possession of the ball for longer than 5 to 6 seconds. It was a perfect point by you that you made a couple of minutes ago, saying that they can get the ball at their feet. That's not the issue. It's controlling their own tempo and playing with their own pace and finding a way to string together some of these, I wouldn't call them easy passes because South Korea's doing a nice job of pressuring the ball, but just like that pass has to be made between Aaron Spear and Angela Karamanos.
But you can see the stark contrast between the two. Interception by South Korea in those passes, and then being able to make the passes that are supposed to be made right
Jen
after.
Gillette turns it over. Yina Park tried to find Chung-Min Lee. Boy, Jen Gillette was a little bit indecisive on whether she wanted to clear the ball away or not. So this will be a South Korean corner, but it could have been a lot more.
It's a little surprising because Jen Gillette does very well in the back. She's like a wall back there with Simone Gardner, and I haven't seen her touch too much on the ball today, and then her being indecisive like that might be off her game a little bit.
And Yina Park, I mean, just so good at spacing out there, so Gillette wasn't sure whether she wanted to clear it. And now it's Hyun-Ah Park to take the corner kick, trying to set up the second for South Korea into the back of the net. Hyun-Ah Park, what a ball yet again off the corner kick. South Korea has their second here in the 50th minute.
Look at their celebration, just able to get a pass on the ball, crashing it ahead, anything to get it in the back of the net. And look at, they are so happy. Hard work pays off right there for the South Korean team.
That was Jin Young No. Jin Young No, who's only started in half the games in this tournament. In the perfect spot. What else, though? I mean, what have we said about Hyun-Ah Park? Her free kicks, her corner kicks have been so dangerous. A beautiful ball yet again. Such touch on that corner kick. And now South Korea can smell it. They can feel it. They are 40-plus minutes away from their third ever bronze medal. The United States having trouble just controlling possession here in this second half.
And like you saw just there, it was 3v1 there on the U.S. player trying to get back. Katie Gernsbacher, 3v1. The South Korean team just defends so strongly.
Now Utley, can she outrun a member of the back line? Ji Hee Ha was able to corral it. Boy, we just talked about Hyun-Ah Park, who set up that goal. Just bothered Kaylee Utley enough there to where Utley couldn't get that power. We've seen what she can do with that right boot. Couldn't get enough on it. And almost chipped it over the keeper and Ji Hee Ha.
Perfect jump by Ji Hee Ha there too, like you said. It almost looked like it was going to go over her fingertips, but being able to corral it and then get there on the ground to make sure that it wasn't deflected for Haley Robertson to kick it in either.
So a silenced Spokane crowd right now. They see the United States trail 2-0 in the 52nd minute. Now starting to put the pressure. Haley Robertson. Can Robertson get to it? Good close out there by Dahi Thong. But now you can see the U.S. pressure. They know not only do they need one, they need two at least in this match.
Well, you say silence, but silence all but the Spokane Area Korean Association and all other South Korean fans out here. You can hear the gong. You can hear them clapping, yelling. They're so excited to see their team up too.
It feels like for the United States, an attack is looming. And just kind of sense it here. Aaron Spear. Here's Kaylee Utley who stops, looking for help. Gernsbacher. She has 4 tallies in the tournament. Haley Robertson. Robertson is trying to find a cutting Karamanos, who scored the final one against Ireland last match. And Derek Wayand, very positive over there on the sideline for the United States. The head coach right now trying to encourage these ladies to start with one, to build the attack. I think he's liked the pressure he's seen and the response since South Korea scored their second.
I think that's really what it takes too, is the motivation, the positivity from one player, one coach, that is, to make sure that these ladies keep their head high and keep working hard. That 2 goals is not out of sight for the U.S. here in the second half.
And for Mi Yun-Yi, been manager for 10 years now. She's coached for 21. Has to love what she's seen, but she knows that the United States is dangerous. That ball was pinged off of In Young San right into the arms of Ji Hee Ha.
The trust the U.S. team has. Tori Allen, a left back, all the way up there, making some passes there for the offensive line, and just having the trust for her other defenders and maybe holding midfielder to stay back a little bit while I try to make something happen up here in the front.
Remember, too, both goals for South Korea, as much as they've dominated 13 shots to 3, both goals for the United States, unfortunately, were set up by sort of defensive mistakes. So they're trying now, as the back line, to shore up some things back there. You can't afford, Shelby, to let up a third.
Great pressure there by Gardner and getting it out to Roberts.
Roberts looking for Utley, but yet again, great spacing by the back line and In Young Sa. Gernsbacher trying to get it to Utley there. There's Karamanos. Karamanos gets a right foot on it. Utley back to Karamanos. Can Karamanos keep it alive? Left foot punched out by Ji Hee Ha. There's Utley. Right foot try misses wide of the mark. That whole play was 2 players for the United States. Karamanos just poked it with the right foot to keep the play alive. Utley found Karamanos. Karamanos then pinged one off of Ji Hee Ha, punched it away. Then Utley just missed wide of the mark.
Well, you see there, too, when it was that play, 3v7 or 6 there from the South Korean team. Not much help for Utley and any of the offensive players there at the front.
Gardner, foot race between her and Chungmin Lee. Hidink, good decision. I was just talking about how it feels like an attack is building for the United States. They're playing with some fire now. They did not expect to be down 2-0. About 35 plus minutes left. Enoch Park, too much space. off of Gillette, and then Gardner hit Gillette in the back. There's a good ricochet. Angela Karamanos right now is getting a foot on everything. And now Utley with a deflection. Backline's being a little bit lazy here for South Korea, and maybe getting a little bit tired. Backline has worked so hard all tournament long. But these are the two to watch out for. These two and Lee. That's the goal scorer in Jin Young No. Here's Hyuna Park, who set up the second, and Hidink has it.
So on these kicks, I'm noticing too, the U.S. team so scrunched in the middle. There's so much space here out on the near side of the field to kind of spread out the play and make those passes inward for the offensive. And I'm a little curious to see why they kind of stay more in the middle than they do bringing it out wide.
Aaron Spear has to be careful there. Hanu Kwan again. The U.S. backline, they're gassed as well. Meredith Reisinger over there throwing it in. I know Meredith Reisinger had a great shout out. Get to that in a moment. But Meredith Reisinger, her mom, Chris, she's attended every one of Meredith's college games at the Air Force Academy since freshman year, home and away. And Meredith wants to give her a huge shout out for being her biggest supporter. Everyone home and away.
It's a lot of traveling there.
And I know Chris is going to say, well worth the mileage. Meredith's been working hard as that right back for the United States all tournament long. And at this point, you're going to get a lot of this in the medal matches. You'll get some stalling tactics. You'll get witty plays like that by Ji Hee Ha, keeping the ball on the ground until Utley has to force her to pick it up. At this point, for South Korea, they are looking up the clock. They're 30-plus minutes away from their third ever bronze medal. And a substitute coming in. This will be the first of the match. It's going to be for South Korea. It looked like that South Korea was going to get that sub in, and they are. So it's Da Young Choi is going to come in for Ing Young Sa. You see it there, the salute for Ing Young Sa. What a brilliant tournament for Ing Young Sa. If there's an all-tournament team, she would be on it. Back line for South Korea has been terrific.
And a bittersweet salute, I think, too. This is the last game of this tournament. This is the last time she'll be playing on this field here in Union Stadium.
And also, too, that's an interesting substitution. So South Korea is up 2-0, and they just subbed in a forward for the member of the back line. Trying to see who's staying back here for South Korea. It's hard to see on this goal kick. It looks like they're pushing back Jin Young No as a part of the back line. It looks like South Korea is now going with a back four. Hyun Park, who was in the middle, remember they were playing a 3-4-3, so they've kind of changed formation now to a 4-3-3, which is what we've seen them play the entire tournament.
Again, playing through their backs.
Here is Hyuna Park, who's now the right back. What a ball. Brilliant to Chung-Min Lee. Chung-Min Lee, Gillette. Chung-Min Lee still has it, and it will be a goal kick. One of the referees is pointing to a goal kick. That's Don Frein from the Netherlands, and Alexandre Collat overrules him. So it's going to be a corner kick here for South Korea.
When we talk about pass accuracy, that pass was so perfect to the feet of Yina Park up there in the front.
Who else but Hyuna Park? Set up one of the last corner kick. Looking for a third. Punched out by Hidink. Roberts couldn't get to it. Right foot. This is into the Spokane sky. Hidink punches one out again. Dangerous for the United States. Good deflection there by Tori Allen to make sure that Hyuna Park couldn't set up a third.
Great job by Hidink punching it out. Like we said, deflections are deadly, so it could have been a counter action from the South Korean team, but she was able to punch it out and make sure that no one was able to get a foot on it.
Illegal throw in there. I've seen that called a lot in this tournament. The 63rd minute. The United States have scored in every single match in this tournament, but have been held scoreless through 63 minutes and haven't had many chances. They've had a couple. South Korea controlling everything in this match. Good ball, Chungmin Lee. Chungmin Lee stays on. Yina Park, good punch out again. Deflection by Hanul Kwan. Another deflection by Hanul Kwan. It's inside the 18. That had so much English on it. That ball came way back towards the outer edge of the penalty area. And Hanul Kwan is grabbing her right ankle. Don't want to see that if you're South Korea. And a lot of pushing and shoving going on there. Morgan Roberts and Arum Han. And someone's getting a yellow card. Looks like Arum Han going to pick up a yellow here for South Korea, so she's got to be careful. So some physicality there between Morgan Roberts and Arum Han.
South Korean back line so in sync, bringing the line up a little bit further to catch these U.S. team members offsides.
Yeah, that's an absolute yellow there. And Roberts, you could see, was frustrated. And Meredith Reisinger completely miskicked that free kick. Now Reisinger gets out. It's much better ball. Haley Robertson, South Korea asking for a handball. Karamanos. Boy, what a play there by Jin Young No. Now the counter could be on for South Korea if Yina Park wanted to push. Instead, they're content with this 2-0 advantage to continue to slow down this pace.
So much time for Yina Park there and able to really look around her and see which opportunity was the best for her. And it was passing it back, passing it through the back line to the other side of the field.
Shelby, I want you to talk about how difficult it is when you're so used to pushing, being on the attack, and then you play against a team who, we could say it, almost looks like it's a boring style of soccer, boring style of football, but it isn't. It is tactical, it's planned out, it's well thought out. How tough is that? If you remember from the United States, who used to going, and then you have to slow down everything.
Well, like we were saying, not a lot of pressure on the South Korean team, and I think it's because a lot, like the U.S., like you said, are so used to that fast pace of them coming to them and their defensive line, and then they don't have to here because they're passing it back. They're not worried about pressing it forward. The South Korean team is using their time, letting the ball do the work, and getting it in the back of the net a lot easier on their team members.
Good ball by Gernsbacher, and Roberts just missed wide of the mark, and it's going to be a goal kick for Ji Hee Ha. Take a look at this again. Roberts more so was, it looked like trying to cross it in, but almost found the back of the net. As brilliant as South Korea has been in this match, especially on the back line, the U.S. at times have found some holes in the armor a little bit. Chungmin Lee looking for her second. Could put this match away. Chungmin Lee with the brace and a fist pump as she celebrates with her fellow captain Han-Nul Kwon. It is all South Korea here in the bronze medal match. They lead 3-0 in the 68th minute.
You'll see on passes like this, a lot of team members will just pass it as hard as they can, but you saw there the poise of being able to make a left foot push pass into the corner. That's what South Korea does. It's the skill, it's the calmness, the poise, not getting too caught up in the craziness that's in the goal box.
A stunned Spokane crowd here. South Korea well on their way to winning their third ever bronze medal. It would be their 7th medal in its nation's military history. The United States have just struggled man-marking Chungmin Lee. Chungmin Lee now with 5 tallies in the tournament. That puts her in 4th place on the goal leaderboard. Just behind Tabe from Cameroon, who has 8, who's likely going to win the most outstanding player. Robertson, of course, for the United States, who has 6. Umu Kone from Mali with 6. We'll talk more about the goal leaderboard in a second here, whenever the hydration break comes out. But Chungmin Lee, boy, just finds a way to slip through the back line for a second time. And we talked about that for the United States in the Open. We said they have to do a better job on this South Korean team, much like France did, of making sure that the playmakers in Chungmin Lee and Han-Nul Kwon couldn't find space. And they have found space and then some in this match. Katie Gernsbacher dispossessed. United States looking for their first. Gernsbacher and Robertson not on the same page. That is what we have seen all afternoon long here in this match.
That's the disadvantage the U.S. team does have against South Korea, is not playing together for that long, so they're still kind of learning a little bit of each other and not knowing where each person likes to run, where they should run, and how they pass.
I'll tell you what, you just got to watch the way that Chungmin Lee plays. She has found the ball at her feet pretty much at will in this match. Arum Han. There was a substitute for the United States. Arum Han testing the keeper and hit dink. There's a substitute a couple of minutes ago I didn't get to. Number 8 came onto the pitch. That's Taylor Kipilei, who came on for number 3, Simone Gardner. So Gardner is out, Kipilei is in. At this point, you may want to sub in some attackers too if you're Derek Wayne. He's got 4 other subs left because it's, at this point, down 3-0. You got to be on an all-out attack the rest of this match, Shelby.
You know, I think it's really a toss-up between whether we think the U.S. is going to start being a little bit more defensively or offensively, trying to save those few offensive runs for the few times that they come, or just go out on an all-attack like you said.
Yeah, I think at this point you pretty much have to. Here's Karamanos. Karamanos trying to find Morgan Roberts. It's tough for the United States. I know you're down 3-0, 20 minutes left. Going to be real tough to get 1, let alone 3, but cannot give up in this situation. Got to keep playing hard. Ina Park out wide. That was Hyuna Park. Ina Park. And it will be a throw-in for South Korea. And that is the hydration break. Tell you what, South Korea does not want this break here, Shelby. They just want to finish out the final 20-plus minutes of this match, then come away with their 3rd bronze. They lead 3-0. South Korea having their way with the United States in this match.
having this hydration break is vital for the players here playing in sunny Spokane. It's a little bit hot here, and getting that break, and maybe the U.S. needs this, needs a motivational talk from Coach Wei-in and their teammates on the bench saying, hey, don't give up, we still have some time here, let's make it happen.
So taking a look at the updated goal scoring leaders, we talked about Tabe, likely going to win most outstanding player. Haley Robertson in this match doesn't have one here, but she's got 6 on the tournament. She scored in 3 of the 4 matches in group play. Umu Koni with a hat trick last match in their win against Canada. So Koni has 6, and then Chungmin Lee had 3 coming in. She's got another brace, now has 5, and then you see the rest of the list. Gernsbacher and Utley also in this match. They have 4 apiece.
You have to think, too, this doesn't reflect the games from this morning either, or the game later tonight, so that could change, I think, but the team members and the players who have made these scores, they're the help from their team. Couldn't do it without them.
Absolutely. That's why a lot of times these goals are set up by other players. That's why, if we had that assist leaderboard too, that's something I think the CISM committee is going to get to. Alex Gould alongside me is U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt-Johnson. Really appreciate you guys joining us, not just for this match, but for 2 straight weeks. These women, as we've said, deserve it. Everything they do to defend their countries and defend the pitch. And that's what South Korea has done really well today.
Absolutely. Well, Alex, if it was up to me, I would have a defender scoring or defending list, a goalie list, an assist. The teams have done such a great job working hard as a team and getting these goals here for South Korea and U.S. for defending.
Yeah, all tournament lists. That's what they need, 100%, because you play as a team, right? And so South Korea trying to win their 3rd medal, or their 3rd bronze medal, I should say, their 7th medal total. That would put them 1 behind Brazil for the 2nd most ever in CISM history.
Definitely worth working for here in the South Korean team, just bringing home some hardware from this tournament here in Spokane.
It's a long flight from Spokane, Washington to Seoul, South Korea, and yeah, I think you want to make that flight, and I should say flights, plural, make those connections with some bronze medals in the baggage and in the luggage. So a couple of subs have checked in. Taking a look for the United States, and here's some of the attacking power that we were looking for up here. Christina the Bear O'Sullivan is into the match. Coming off is Aaron Spear. So that's an attacking midfielder in O'Sullivan. Coming on for a holding midfielder, a little bit more defensive-minded, Aaron Spear. And then also 11 for 13. So Jada Sargent, defender, coming in for Tori Allen, also a defender. Scrum in the box there. And a good stop by Hidink. Now 15 minutes left. Not what the United States wanted in this match. Been a brilliant tournament for Team USA, but they need a lot in very little time here to try and come back in this match. And just to let you know, we haven't talked about it, but of course there are no draws anymore. There's no ties. So if the United States can put 3 in the back of the net here in the final 15 minutes and hold South Korea, there's extra time. And it's FIFA rules, so there's 2 15-minute halves, I guess we'll call it, segments. No matter what, no golden goal. So if it gets to that point, we'll talk more about it. There's Kipi Leu, just checked in. Hyuna Park. And Hyuna Park is down for South Korea. And cleared away there by O'Sullivan. I'm not sure why the clearance in that spot.
I think it was more of a sportsmanship thing. We had a player down, so maybe clearing it to give Hyuna Park a time to get up and get maybe treated by the medical team, but I don't think that she will need that. We talk about that, the respect here between the ladies who play, and see even there giving it to the U.S. to play it back in. Just what great stuff to see between these ladies.
Yeah, that's a good call by you there. Didn't see that Park was still down. Good sportsmanship there between both players. Nice job by O'Sullivan. So 77th minute. 3-0 South Korea. Our gold medal match, Cameroon and France. Cameroon trying to become the first African nation to ever win the CISM gold medal. France trying to win their second ever, and it would be the second in the last 4 tournaments. That match will start at 4 p.m. Pacific time.
It's really a great day filled with great football. We've seen, well, we didn't really have a chance to see the 3 games that happened here this morning, but seeing these 2 games out here and just really the best teams giving it their all for the final day of the 13th CISM World Military Women's Football Championship has been a treat.
Absolutely, and all tournament long. Talked about it. How fun it's been to tell all the stories of these women. From what they've accomplished in the military and who they are outside of the military. The people that they are. Not just the players, not just the lieutenants and staff sergeants, but it's been a real treat to be able to talk about everything that's gone on. That was a dangerous pass there. Morgan Roberts anticipating. Can Haley Robertson make a run? Morgan Roberts, Haley Robertson. Haley Robertson didn't get enough yet again, and that's because of Da Hee Thong, the center back. That's a player we haven't talked enough about, but Da Hee Thong, she creates it so that the angle there for Robertson is away from the goal, to where she's almost having to take her momentum from that far flank to try and adjust her body, and she can't get enough power.
Absolutely. As a defender, you're really supposed to box them out away from the goal to do just that. And Thong is doing it perfect in the back. But when there's no one up there to help Robertson to pass through, like the South Korean team has had a little bit of help up near the goal box, it makes it very hard for her to even get a pass off rather than a shot.
Hanul Kwan. Ball got to Hyuna Park, but I think Hanul Kwan will tell you she want to get a little bit more on that. Well, if it wasn't all-out attack before, if you can and can control possession, it's got to be there now. Everyone's got to push up for the United States.
Not much help there.
Here's Sargent, Gernsbacher, Haley Robertson. Robertson skies one. Can Utley get to it? She can. Utley, what a move. Utley, right foot. Haley Robertson. Robertson couldn't get to it. That's that Ollie Town Artesians connection there between those two. Told that story a bunch throughout the championship. And Utley couldn't find Robertson. I think Robertson was kind of stuck on, should I head it or should I use the right foot? Tried to elect to use the right foot just out of the reach.
Well, a great look there. Perfect cross for Utley right there to Robertson. Just maybe not the right height. And Utley talking about a little bit of inspiration for the young boys and women's. And she has 6 nieces and 1 nephew that she says, I want them to look at me and be inspired about who I am and how I play football and who I am in the military as well.
So a yellow card was just given. So on that last play, a little tug of the jersey, stopping that attack. It's hard to see who was defending there. Might have been O'Sullivan. What a tournament for Hyuna Park. Boy, was she brilliant in this match and beyond. So Ji-won Kim, we haven't seen Ji-won Kim a whole lot, and this is just who Mi Young-hee is. It's the type of person that she is. Not only, of course, does she believe in every player, but we're in a bronze medal match here, Shelby, and she's getting in a player that we really haven't seen in this tournament.
getting some fresh feet out there, and at a point where they are pretty much going to take home that medal, giving the other players who have traveled all this way a chance to play is really great, a testament to her character. Box out there by Kipilei.
Also, there was some more substitutes there for South Korea. Jin So Moon is into the match for Hyoshang Shim. So Jin So Moon into the match in the middle of the pitch for South Korea. And then there's one other trio came on, 7 in for 20. So Do Young Bon, who we've seen a lot starting in the back line for South Korea, is into the match for Arum Han.
Gernsbacher with control.
Gernsbacher trying to find Morgan Roberts. Still got legs that look fresh, I'll tell you that much. An 83rd minute, all but over here in Spokane. The United States oh so close, but likely going to finish 4th and just miss the medal. Also, too, another thing we haven't talked about enough, but I think there's some added pressure being the host nation, right? I think the United States have handled it so beautifully. They have been one with this Spokane crowd. Jungmin Lee with the brace. There's Ji Won Kim. One of the first times we're seeing her. Hanu Kwan, the captain. Ina Park thought about one. Instead plays it out wide. Jungmin Lee. Jungmin Lee, right foot, and caught by Hidink.
Well, when you talk about the pressure of a host nation, right, we know the crowd here, Spokane, Team Fairchild, everybody is rooting for the U.S. here on the home field in the home stretch. It is a ton of pressure, but the U.S. team has done a great job, like you said, really connecting with the community. They did a little bit of community outreach, and they, with the youth, with other people and other associations in the area, and just being able to let them know, hey, we're here for you, we're playing for you, and then coming out here and maybe not coming home with the medal could be a little bit disappointing for the team.
And of course it's going to be disappointing, right? They wanted the goal, and they wanted that 20-year anniversary of the very first ever matches that were held, tournament that was held in Canada. The United States wound up winning all the way back in 2002, and then followed it up with the bronze medal in 2004 after a year off. But definitely going to be disappointing, but at the same time, that's why we talk about it. It's so much bigger than this. I know a lot of these players don't want to make excuses, and they won't. But in this particular match, it's not how it's going to go every day. They ran into a better South Korea team today. The South Korean team played almost perfect soccer, perfect football in this match.
Again, you see there 2v1 for Utley.
And then on the flip side, for South Korea, who's never won a gold medal, that's how amazing that is. 6 straight tournaments now they've played for at least a bronze medal. 9 of 10 tournaments they have played for a medal. South Korea won the silver in 2009, 10, 12, and 18, but have yet to win a gold. So you talk about disappointments all over the place. Not going to be disappointed in this match is South Korea, but they came in expecting and hoping that they were going to at least play for that gold medal match. And the other day, they ran into a France team, even though it was close to 50-50, that was better for one moment in that match. And that was that 90th minute goal by Rachel Corbeau's that sent France to the gold medal match, and South Korea had to settle for playing for the bronze.
To a lot of these teams, they don't play. Oh, what a nice, just leaving it there for her teammate. The situational awareness, I've been talking about it. This team is so in sync. when you talk about a lot of these teams who don't play year-round, they have said it over and over again. It is like a reunion coming here to the CISM tournaments. Not only is it fun to play and compete for these medals and bring it home some hardware for their nation, it's even more fun to get to see these ladies who you don't normally see throughout the year. You may keep up with them, but seeing them in person, getting to hang out with people from the other nations, it's just invaluable. That part of the tournament is almost even more valuable than the tournament itself.
Absolutely. It's just bigger. It's bigger than all that. That's why we talked about it. From 10th place to first place, everyone's walking away with an experience of a lifetime. I know you and I are. It's the first time we've gotten the chance to cover this tournament. We were saying, can we go to the Netherlands next year? That's where the tournament, the 14th tournament's going to be held next year in the Netherlands. Another chance here for South Korea. Chongmin Lee goes down, and that was Da-Young Choi who went down inside the penalty area.
You know, and a lot of these players, they're shouting out their friends, their families that are watching from home, because we know there's so much support from home across the nation, across the world. But Jada Sargent, number 11, who came in here as a left back, she shouted out her unit, her shop, who is like a family. She's actually at the Top Gun Command, which people might be kind of familiar with, but she wanted to give a shout out to her unit, her brothers and sisters there, and that just shows you the military is more than just your coworkers, right? They're your family. And then I think that really is a testament to her character, reaching out and saying, hey, you know what? I shout out my friends, my family for watching. I love them too. But my family, my shop, my unit, we're with every day. Shout out to them.
Jin So-moon trying to shout out a fourth goal here for South Korea. Good defense there, but Ki Pi-lei, she's played well since she came in.
Well, speaking of shout-outs, Ki Pi-lei, she shouted out her pets. She said her pets are her family.
Couple more subs coming in, two for the United States, one for South Korea. Do-Young Ban, Da-Young Choi. Da-Young Choi, left foot, nobody there. Yena Park kind of stopped instead of making the run, but she's going to find it at her feet and keep it alive. Hanul Kwan just feels like she needs one, doesn't she? Left foot laser right at Hidink.
Well, she wants one. You can tell right there. That was a laser shot, like you said.
Hanul Kwan scored 2 in the first match of the tournament against Canada. That's been it. That's why we talk about it. Goals are not indicative on the player that you are. Hanul Kwan, I think a lot of people would say, especially on the South Korean team, the most valuable player for this team. Need her.
I think, too, when I was in high school, middle school, playing midfield, that's kind of the position I played. I was always like, why am I not the one scoring? Why am I not getting, the praise? But it is the midfielders and the holding midfielders, even the defenders just don't get the praise that they deserve because they are the playmakers. It starts from them, and the strikers are the one that makes it finish, and you really can't do it without the entire team.
So for the first time in this tournament, seeing a new face for South Korea, Chae-Hyun is into the match. Couple of players checking in for the United States. 17 is in for 31, so taking a look, 17. Kyle Bridell is into the match for the United States, and Haley Robertson, last time we'll see her. Also, Chongmin Lee checked out, by the way, for South Korea. So two of the best goal scorers in this tournament are off for the final time. Big salute to those two players for everything they did in this tournament. And then 6 is in for 24. So Lauren McGovern is into the match for Angela Karamanos.
And you may be thinking, with extra time here, why are we subbing, right? Why is the coaching staff deciding to sub? And we know it's to get these players experience on the field, the chance to play here at Union Stadium in case they haven't really played that much throughout the tournament, and just really giving the other players a little bit of a rest.
But also, too, going off that point, giving those players who played the majority of the minutes, a nice ovation as they come off the pitch. And I know this pro-United States crowd here is sad that the United States is going to wind up losing this bronze medal, but a lot of these players deserve the ovation, how hard they've worked throughout these 2 weeks. South Korea, they've smelled it since the beginning. They've felt it since the beginning. That 20th minute goal by Chung-Min Lee. Then Chung-Min Lee added a second in the 67th minute to put this match out of reach for the United States, but not before a 49th minute goal. Right when that second half pretty much started. 49th minute goal by Jin Young No. It was her first of the tournament. What a time to get your first goal of the tournament. How about in the bronze medal match? And then, of course, South Korea, they're looking for the shutout. They're looking for the United States to have zeros. This back line has been brilliant.
And this will be the first time the U.S. does not score in a game. So a pretty great shutout at that.
The United States had scored in every single match and scored multiple goals in every match except for Cameroon. The one they lost 2-1. Chance here for South Korea, trying to pad the stats. Da Young Choi. Da Young Choi passes it back, and missing wide of the mark is Chae Hyung Yoon. Boy, the first time we've seen her in this tournament, had a ripe chance and missed wide.
A pass to Yoon, and you know that they might have had a chance there on the other side, but passing it there, letting the other teammate have a chance at a goal in the bronze medal match, just amazing to see that from the South Korean team.
But also, it was I think that was the right play. I think Yoon had a better angle than Da Young Choi, and Da Young Choi, of course, trying to get it set up her teammate. But also, it was a brilliant pass and a good look, but Yoon missed wide of the mark. Closing seconds here in Spokane, South Korea. And there's the final whistle for the third time in the last 5 tournaments. South Korea wins the bronze medal. What a brilliant display of football from South Korea and Mi Young-ee's group. They win their 7th medal, Shelby, which pushes them past Germany for the 2nd most ever in CISM women's football. They now sit 1 behind Brazil for the most ever. What a win here in Spokane in front of a heavy U.S. crowd.
From the very start of the tournament, Alex, we knew South Korea was a phenomenal team. They play with poise, passion, and practice, the 3 Ps, right? Their hard work paying off today.
For the United States, oh so close to their first medal in 18 years. A heartbreaker here at Union Stadium. I know it doesn't feel like it right now, but a lot to be proud of when it comes to this U.S. group.
The U.S. team, as Coach Wayan has attested, has been one of the best groups for the U.S. Armed Forces football program. Although not medaling, these ladies sure have a lot to be proud about to make it in the top 5 of the 13th CISM World Military Women's Football Championship.
And for Derek Wayan, that is his final assignment as a head coach before he retires. I know he said he wants to go coach more collegiately, but a big shout out to him. Great human being, and I know that's not the way he wants the ladies to go out. But again, they got beat by a better South Korean team today, and a big congratulations to Mi Young-ee's group. They're bringing back some hardware, like we said, to South Korea. You know those flights are going to be enjoyable.
Absolutely, and the U.S. team going through a lot of practice and play and trying out to get this team their hard work, and at least making it to this team is something to be proud about anyways, and the South Korean team coming out bigger and better for the crowd here today.
The difference maker today was Chung-Min Lee. I mean, the whole team was a difference maker. As you see the 2 sides coming together here, you talk about the friendship through sport. United States, of course, clapping for their U.S. crowd, but also the South Korean crowd, right? You like the added pressure. That's what makes this moment fun. And then South Korea, obviously going to salute and bow to a lot of the South Korean fans that are here, as well as the United States crowd. They had the pressure on them all tournament long from this U.S. faithful crowd. That's a great shot there of a salute for South Korea. And the United States, of course, taking a couple of bows and waving to some family members and some friends. But that's it for us here in this bronze medal match. Kamsahamnida, of course, and thank you to those who have followed along in South Korea and to everyone who has followed along in the States. What a thrilling 5 matches for these two, Shelby. But guess what? There is still one more match left. The gold medal match between Cameroon and France. Cameroon trying to become the first ever African military nation to win the gold. France trying to win their second ever and second in the last 4 tournaments. The 2 best for all the marbles, Shelby. Where else would you rather be for that one?
Nowhere rather than Union Stadium in Spokane, Washington, for the fans, friends, and families in South Korea. Congratulations. We are so glad you were able to watch with us, these ladies, live and share this victory.
So that match takes place at 4 p.m. Pacific time, a match you don't want to miss. For my partner, U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt-Johnson, our producer John Zanone, director Adam White, and our entire second and third audio-visual crew, I'm Alex Gould saying so long from Spokane, where South Korea captures their 3rd bronze medal, 7th medal overall, as they defeat the United States 3-0. We will see you in roughly 2 hours or so for the gold medal match between Cameroon and France.